Hello everyone and good evening to you. Welcome to yet another episode of your darling podcast, the Candy Takes Podcast. And I remain your friend, Olubenga Oyeniro, on this episode for today. So throughout the course of the month, we had begun a journey looking at the lessons from the lockdown season that we all must not forget. In the first installment, I had said clearly that one source of income is suicide, and I'm still saying that. Do everything within your power to diversify your earnings and make sure that one source of income is not what you rely upon. So today, very quickly, I would like to talk about one other lesson I picked from the year 2020, all thanks to COVID-19, and that is you need the courage to create. I never knew until that year that it takes a lot of courage to actually create things. I found out during that season that the easier path that we all would ordinarily tread is the path of just having opinion. If I should raise a vox populi now, everybody has an opinion about the Nigerian situation. Everybody has an opinion about the problem in the world. Everybody has an opinion about the matter going on in Ukraine and Russia. We all have opinions, but you would notice our experience must have taught you that it is when we all need to really create solutions, to really create ideas that will change the situation of things, that you notice that it's far more than just talk. It's far more than just talk. And that's where the word courage comes. It is when you begin to intentionally create solutions that you discover that more than anything else, it takes a lot of courage. A lot of courage because for the most part on that journey, you're going to be alone. A lot of courage because for the most part of that journey, you will be discouraged. In fact, a few days, a few minutes, a few hours, a few seconds to break through, you might want to give up. How do I know this? I heard the story of the popular communications app Zoom during that season, who just the year before COVID and the lockdown and everything struggled to even survive. But then in the first quarter of the year, they broke through, they broke even, and they made more than they could ever have projected. But then that still came from the fact that they had created something. They had created something and they were courageous enough to stick with it even when it looked like nothing was working. And I take a personal story also. During that season, I took the first step ever in my life to create a professional course material, a professional book, which I titled Post-COVID Realities for Teachers. It's a book that I would say I have benefited from. It's not just the teachers that have gone through it and have learned now. It's about what I learned from it, although I was the author. It's amazing that I could glance through the pages of that book and I could learn very vital bits of information and knowledge that I have now applied, and my life is not the same. I tell you, as strange as it might sound, sometimes I catch myself saying thank God for COVID, because it was the opportunity that I needed to understand that I could actually do more with my time than just talking about how seriously bad things are, and I could make efforts, no matter how small, to solve problems. And if you try that, if you plan on trying that, I'm happy to inform you ahead of time that you will need a lot of courage. It takes courage to leave the popular practice of blaming someone for the space of our lives and the way things are. It takes a lot of courage to make the first step to really better our lives. It takes a lot of courage to wake up and do things in the middle of the night that nobody will cheer you on for. It takes a lot of courage to do things all by yourself when there is no one from the social media to hype you up or tell you that you are doing good. But I can give you a guarantee It is the creators. It is the problem solvers. It is those who can take initiative that the world truly needs. And of course, those are the ones that the world rewards. If you want to make your life better, and I have a tip for you, make sure that you sum up the strength. Make sure that somehow you form the courage, you get the strength to be able to prefer solutions to problems as a lifestyle. I guarantee you it's just a matter of time. The world will reward you. And when that happens, you will remember all the efforts that went into it, and you will be encouraged to even do more. So, there you have it. The second lesson that we all must never forget from the lockdown season. Creating takes courage, but then it will never be in vain. I hope this has helped somebody. Go out there today and make up your mind to be a solution to the world. It's fine to talk about the problems, but when you're done, go back and do your little bit to solve problems. Because at the end of the day, people do not need more opinion polls. People do not need more opinion makers. The world is better because you take a decision and take a step, not necessarily because you have an opinion. Thank you very much for listening, and bye-bye.